problem at all. Thanks, Ms. Barani. Can I just remind our panelists that we should try and keep to time and also give us a final sentence on what are some of those action points you think should make it into some form of consensus or report of this very nice gathering. So I'll call on my colleague from UNAIDS.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank the organizers for inviting us. This is a very complex subject that entails discussions of, actually started by emotions, just listening to this song, legislative, structural, scientific, and cultural issues. And of course I came with substantive and technical issues, but I feel that it's maybe a little bit skewed. But anyway, I was thinking about what can we at UNAIDS, of course UNAIDS has signed the interagency statement on eliminating female genital mutilation, and as such is committed to work in this direction. The interface between female genital mutilation and HIV transmission is to some extent documented, or a little bit perhaps less rigorously that we would like to. Of course, use of instruments that can instruments for without sterilization transmit when there is a group of girls that are being subjected to the procedure, and of course the fact that female genital mutilation results in a vulnerability in the vaginal mucosa and therefore makes the transmission of HIV more likely. How can we build on UNAIDS' work to promote abandonment of the practice? Again, everyone had said this is a matter of partnership, so how can we capitalize on what we have as partners? First of all, using the agenda for accelerated country action for women and girls and HIV. This piece of work tries to bring stakeholders around the national plan to address issues of women and girls and HIV, and has already been launched in more than 60 countries. It produces information and for better understanding of the specific needs of and rights of women and girls. It turns political commitment into increased resources, and we can use that also to incorporate the question of female genital mutilation, and mobilizes leaders to create safer environments in which women and girls can feel empowered to exercise their human rights. The second area, perhaps, of success for the joint program has been working with the civil society organizations, and this we have quite a solid experience. UNAIDS provides technical support to analyze how cultural factors, including stigma and discrimination, and social and legal barriers prevent women and girls from exercising their rights, including being protected from being subjected to the procedure. We do support shadow reports for the Committee on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, the CEDAW, and I think we can use that in the context of when country reports come for review. We support campaigns, Know Your Rights, among girls to enable women and girls to exercise their rights. These are country-based campaigns. And finally, we have a commitment to incorporate mitigation and prevention of female genital mutilation into the national programs. The board of the joint program has just approved a new strategy for the year 2011-2015. It has 3 pillars. The first of one is a new approach to prevention, and I believe that eliminating female genital mutilation is also an element of promoting prevention of HIV through sexual reproductive health and increased maternal health. There is also a pillar that is human rights and gender equality, where work of the joint program and the co-sponsors is supposed to focus around review and reforms of laws and policies, including adjusting constitutional recognition of the rights of girls and women, criminal laws, child protection laws, civil laws, and remedies. And finally, I would like just to share perhaps some good practices. We have spoken about media, about social network, but there are also other areas where the subject of female genital mutilation and protection of the girl child, including through sports and entertainment. Some of you may have heard of the Red Card campaign that was launched at the World Cup in South Africa, and that mobilized attention around the question of transmission of HIV from mother to child. So I think we can use sports and entertainment and other areas that appeal to boys and men, but also to girls, to bring this issue of basic human rights protection. Thank you. I think my time is up, as mentioned by my chair. Thank you.
Can I just ask you, what will be that one point you want to be included in the action points?
Of course, as UNAIDS, we will endeavor to include in every area that I have mentioned female protection of rights and female genital mutilation, but I would like to make a recommendation to look at other areas, as I said, such as sports, art, entertainment, industries, etc., to bring the issue to a broader forum, including boys and men, but not only. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think that was well said. Can I now call on Isha? Oh, you're there. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very delighted to be asked to speak on such an important subject today. The Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights is proud to be associated with the WHO-led 2008 Interagency Statement on Eliminating Female Genital Mutilation, along with other agencies such as UNAIDS, UNICEF, UNHCR, and the like. As you all know, FGM, or cutting, is a reproductive health and human rights concern with devastating short and long-term impacts on the lives of women and girls, including maternal morbidity and maternal mortality. The practice reflects the deep-rooted inequality between men and women and constitutes an extreme form of discrimination against women. It is nearly always carried out on minors and is therefore a violation of the rights of the child. The practice also violates the right to health and physical integrity of the person, the right to be free from torture and cruel and inhumane or degrading treatment, and the right to life when the procedure results in death. The UN Special Rapporteur, as has been said, on violence against women, has recognized FGM as a form of violence against women that requires concerted international and national action for its eradication, hence this meeting today. It is a fact that FGM has no known health benefits. On the contrary, it is known to be harmful to girls and women in many ways. The procedures themselves are risky and can be life-threatening for girls, and in fact is felt by girls throughout the various stages of their lives, with immediate and lifelong psychological impacts. Last year, the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights presented a report to the Human Rights Council entitled Preventable Maternal Mortality and Morbidity and Human Rights. The report shows that women who have undergone genital mutilation or cutting have significantly increased risk for adverse effects during pregnancy and childbirth. Higher incidences of cesarean section and post-mortem hemorrhage are amongst women who have undergone genital mutilation compared to those who had not, and the risk is increased with the severity of the procedure. FGM has negative effects on their newborn babies as well. Babies born to women who have undergone FGM suffer a high rate of neonatal death compared with babies born to women who have not undergone the procedure. Obstetric fistula is a complication of prolonged and obstructed labor and may also be a secondary result of birth implications caused by FGM. All too often, cultural relativism is used as an excuse to permit inhumane and discriminatory practices against women, despite clear provisions in many human rights instruments, including CEDAW, in accordance with which states under Article 5 shall take appropriate measures to modify the social and cultural patterns of conduct of men and women with a view to achieving the elimination of prejudices and customary acts and all practices which are based on the idea of the inferiority or superiority of either of the sexes or stereotype roles for men and women. In this regard, the empowerment of women is of key importance to the elimination of female genital mutilation. Parents, guardians, and mothers who force their daughters to undergo FGM are parents and mothers just like you and me. They simply want to do the best for their child. They want to give their daughters the best possible start in life. It makes no sense to imagine that these same parents intend to hurt or harm their daughters. But of course, the reality is that they do, both physically and psychologically. This is why it is important that a significant number of families within a community make a collective, coordinated choice to abandon the practice so that no single girl or family is disadvantaged by the decision. The decision to abandon this practice must be collective and explicit so that family will have the confidence that others are also doing the same. This is why we support joint programs like UNFPA and UNICEF's 2007 initiative entitled Female Genital Mutilation, Accelerating Change, has been so successful because it brings together UN agencies, all of us sitting at this table and to come, and countries of prevalence to support the operationalization of a common, coordinated approach to address this human rights violation. I see I only have 1 more minute. I will conclude by saying that the joint initiative, which aims to support accelerated abandonment by promoting a social conventional shift, which focuses on gaining the support of an initial core group which decides to abandon FGM and mobilize a sufficient number of people to facilitate a tipping point, which thereby creates a rapid social shift of the cutting norm, is important. Through a cultural sensitive approach, the joint program fosters partnerships with governments, authorities both at decentralized levels and national levels, and takes into account religious authorities and local religious leaders, the media, civil society organization, and the education and reproductive health sectors to join together and do a joint initiative is excellent and worth emulating. Certainly a way to go. Finally, let me say, I want to thank the organizers and everyone who is here today who has come to contribute in the hope of eradicating FGM and in doing so empowering women and girls. I thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much, Isha. I'm sorry to appear to be the time snatcher, but we are running so much behind, and we realized that all through the morning we had not really had any audience participation. And we're hoping that at the end we will be able to give some time to people from the audience.